So many stories on campus remain unspoken. Students prefer not to talk about the mistakes they've made, the injustice they faced, and the struggle they've been through. However, in order to create an awareness about important issues within the stories and to let others learn from it, VOIS Cyprus wants the stories to be told. Here is one of them.
I came to North Cyprus to study in 2013, but this wasn't the case because I went through a series of things that happened to me that may not be normal for some students, and it was about doing drugs, specifically bonsai and weed. But on this time, we're gonna focus more about the weed part because it's the thing that actually changed my life. At the same time, bonsai had a huge impact on my life, but it didn't cause me as much trouble. So, but I started bonsai here in order to get high, and I was smoking before I come here. And I just decided that maybe that one day I was just bored, and I said to myself, let me go and buy some stuff, buy some weed. But I couldn't find any, and I found that there's one lady that was selling bonsai, and she was an old lady. She was around 50 years old, and she actually got the drugs for me, and she made me addicted to something called bonsai. And after that, what happened basically is I started to get more depth into I started to get addicted to bonsai, like really addicted. It had a lot of side effects on me, and it also made me lose a lot of weight. I was addicted to it for 3 years, maybe. At the end, I reached a heart condition, and it was a very bad experience for me to go through that, since it was a minor heart injury, but it was basically due to lack of being healthy. Basically, like I wasn't healthy enough because of the bonsai. So after that, I decided to stop bonsai, but I also needed to get intoxicated with something. So I decided to smoke marijuana, basically. And that's where everything got a bit more interesting, because it caused less damage, but at the same time, it was still bad. And basically, I knew that my time was going to be coming soon because I was smoking too much. And I knew that the police was basically, it's going to come and get me one time. Like, I just knew, because the way that I've been smoking was different, because I've seen other people, they're smoking in less quantity, which they also do get caught in time. But I thought myself that, I was a bit superior, or maybe I was too smart to get caught. Even they thought that they were too smart to get caught. But at the end, eventually, most of us did get caught. And after that, the day that I feared for a long time actually came. And they actually did catch me with drugs on me. The whole process was very tiring because I did go to the police. They did hit me up. They did beat me. They beat me for 6 hours, actually. And when we went to court, the court asked, why is he like this? Why is this guy like this? Why does he have bruises on his arm? Why does he have all of this? They said that it was from sleeping on the prison ground, which is totally not true. They hit me, they did a lot of things that I wouldn't actually like to say on camera, but it's not sexual though. but they did some things that's very offensive to me, basically. Sometimes offensive to me, to what I stand for, to other people, it might be also offensive. And then I kept going to courts, in and out of courts after that. And then the big court came where the decision was supposed to be done. And they sentenced me for 3 months in prison, which is very different than what I expected. It's not like the movies. It's really not the movies. It's actually very real. And the people inside there had real problems, not like the ones that you see in the movies. I've met people from all around the world, basically, over there, and people who are terrorists, murderers, rapists, pedophiles. They're very weird people, but inside that place there, they feel like it's their home. And I actually didn't need to be I was scared of the whole point of me going to prison, but my point was it was very different than what I expected, because I saw people who are having 25 years to life, people who are having people who are kids, 13 years old in prison. They say it was for their own protection, but over there I didn't feel I needed to be protected from the prisoners. I actually need to be protected from the police, because the police were the ones who were actually doing a lot of bad things. The police has the power to get you more in prison punishment. They're the one who's getting the drugs in. They're the one who are getting the phones in. And some of them would actually blackmail you if you don't pay them for protection. They would put phones on your pillow, and if you were caught with a phone inside prison, that's instant 2 or 5 years, I'm not sure, depending on the case. So this actually made me scared from the police more. And when I mean scared, I'm not scared physically, but scared what can they do since they have that power. And I decided that myself, I was in literally the worst place possible, because I was in a prison in a country that's not authorized by any other in the world. So I did believe I was in the worst place of the worst place. That's how I felt through that experience of mine. So then after that, I did have some of the rehab. I did have the rehab thing. I got out from prison due to court and everything. I did go out of that, and what actually happened, I went to rehab, and I thought it's gonna get me better, but at the end it wasn't that. The case wasn't that at all. The case was I would just go to rehab, I just sign and I come out. And I thought that it would be something better, basically. But it didn't. I just go there and sign and come back. And if I don't sign, there's 6-month prison in it. So after I go back to school and I still have to do rehab and go to school at the same time. Which is, I don't advise anyone to do that, because I was really pressured. I was really, really pressured. And my advice to you is basically not to smoke, because it's basically something that's gonna be affected to you in real life. It's gonna affect you. It's gonna affect you real good time. I don't regret it. And don't get me wrong when I say don't regret smoking. I don't regret going to prison or going through that experience, because it actually taught me a lot of stuff that I need to know about in my near future. It taught me about people, how do people see, how do people act. And that's basically it. Thank you.
If you want your voice to be heard, feel free to contact us by using following email. VOIS Cyprus is here to listen and help.